Hello, everybody. Today we have a special celebration here. It's 1 year anniversary of our live, our show here. And we have the full team. And I have no words to say thank you, first of all, for the spirits to trust in us. I don't know where they have their head, but they trusted, And second, for Kardec Radio for this opportunity. Third, Vanessa, who accepts the idea, and Elsa, came up with this idea
with Charles
to to come with this show. So, Fayute, my Irish friends, it's a wonderful time to have you all here with us. Today we're gonna talk about the Spiritist mission, and we have a lot of people to talk today. I will not stay long here. Let's start with our introduction. So, Charles, would you mind to introduce yourself?
Oui, bonjour à tous. Hello, everyone. Very happy to be here again with you to talk about this important topic, Spiritist Mission. So what's new today compared with 160 years ago, and so on, commenting also about the current situation in the world and where we can help. Very happy to be here already 1 year. Missed very few of the emissions of the lives, and it's an experience which is very grateful, and particularly when we see the reaction of you, of all the people who are giving these comments and encouraging us to go on, to continue.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Charles. Vanessa, we don't know you. It's the first time you're here, isn't it?
It's great to be here, and congratulations to this one long pandemic year and endurance. I think the word here is endurance, because I remember everyone in each and every country, and all of us experiencing our fair share of humanity, and yet you guys persisted with quality, bringing discussions that is still in everybody's mind. So it's a joy to have this intercontinental collaboration in the good. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear. And let's go now to our last acquisition. Let's go to Spain.
Last but not
Mr.
least.
Ortega, ¿cómo estás?
Hello. Muy bien. Hola, mis amigos. Sean todos bienvenidos. Sean todos bienvenidos. Es una alegría una vez más estar aquí. Como dijo Stevan, soy la última adquisición de este grupo y es un grupo que me está ayudando mucho a aprender muchas cosas, y espero que la intención es que hagamos esto juntos, ¿no? Entonces los invito a todos a participar de esta live con nosotros para que podamos todos aprender y poner un poco en práctica todo esto en nuestra vida. Well, thank you, everyone, to join this live. So it's a pleasure, an honor, and a happiness to be here. So I invite you, everyone, to join us, to ask questions or to comment what we're saying here. It's a joint learning, and it's a great happiness to be here with you once again. So now I come back to Stevan. Thank you.
Thank you, Rodrigo. Thank you. Miss Gibbons, today's double celebration. It was Miss Gibbons' birthday last Monday, so
Yes, it was. Yes, nice, isn't it? One more year that God gave me. So it's and the anniversary today, which is very important after a year. I know I am come lately, but I have enjoyed the time I have spent here, and for me it's an honor and a privilege, because as being said before, the chance of studying and learning with aim to talk about subjects that are important for all of our lives. And so it's really good. And I hope everybody join with us and enjoy the day. And good evening, everyone. And it's lovely to be here once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gibbons. Let's go to Lithuania right now. Ms. Nadja, how are you, my dear?
Labas visiems, labas vakaras, laba diena, labas rytas. Šiandien mes švęsime mūsų pirmąjį metinį. Tai prieš metus mes sėdėjome prie kompiuterio ir kalbėjome daug apie mirtinį patirtį, apie gyvenimą po mirties. Kalbėjome pirmą kartą apie sielą, ar turime sielą. Ir kiekvieną kartą, kiekvieną savaitę mes galėjome mokytis, kaip tapti geru žmogum. Ir šiandien mes kalbėsime apie spiritizmo misiją, arba mūsų misiją, kaip spiritistai, kaip būti gera, kaip daryti gera kitiems, kas yra mūsų misija šiame pasaulyje, šiame gyvenime. Tai tikiuosi, kad šiandien bus gera diena dar vieną kartą. Hello, everybody. Translating. Thank you very much for all your participation. We have sat in front of the computer 1 year ago, and we start talking about soul. Do we have a soul? And since then, we spoke about life after death. We spoke about mediumship. We spoke about lots of important things, trying to become better people. When we learn, and we learned every week with all of you, and when we prepared ourselves, we learned as well. And we are still learning. So I'm sure this night, another night, is going to be very good with all of you. And thank you for your participation.
And my dear Elsa.
Boa noite, queridos e queridas que nos acompanham neste 1 ano de live semanal, sem interrupção. É uma alegria poder oferecer uma escolha a mais daquilo que você pode qualificar o seu tempo, sentar no seu sofá, seu telefone, participar dessa live, ouvir esses temas, como a Nadja comentou, excelentes para que a gente possa realmente refletir, escolher aquilo que a gente precisa naquele dia. São temas atuais do Evangelho, do Livro dos Espíritos, da Gênese, são temas espíritas, que hoje é a missão, né, dos espíritas, vamos falar sobre isso, e que nos ajuda realmente a melhorarmos e a entender que a vida continua. My dear friends, it's really a great joy. My heart is full of love, joy, and gratitude for this participation in 1 year, sitting here in front of the computer and giving hugs to you all, each one of you, receive from our hearts our love and gratitude, because if you are here, we are happy and we can exchange ideas. We can feel that you are participating. We can feel that we are doing something more in order to offer one more choice for you to choose what you want to see and qualify your time in your home, in your sofa, or in a break in your job, and listen this kind of situation that we are discussing here. Thank you so much for your support in this 1 year. Thank you, dear Vanessa, for offering us the StreamYard, Kardec Radio, and we are together. We have 5 broadcasts. 5 broadcasts. So you can choose Lithuania in YouTube, Irish Spiritist Federation YouTube, Kardec Radio in YouTube, yes, and Bas Audiovisuals, with the support de Movimento Espírita Francophone. Okay? I am so happy to continuing here with you all. 1 more year to come. Thank you so much, and let's go.
Wonderful. Thank you, my dear friends. It's nice to have so many languages, so many hearts here beating at the same time. Okay, so let's start as usual. I will play a short movie here, and then we kick off the discussion, okay? Stay tuned.
Long before the first man appeared, the earth was already inhabited. It seemed that something had prepared an elegant design, fine-tuned for life to flourish. It took almost 13 billion years and many mutations and adaptations for us to begin to walk the planet. Amazed by nature around them, and especially above them, our ancestors soon began to try to understand the issues that still seem so relevant today. Who am I? Where do I come from? Where am I going? What am I doing here? Is there anything beyond what my eyes can see? We have a natural inclination to inquire, to explore, to ask. Countless attempts have been made to obtain the answers from north to south, in the Far East and the vast West. But the knowledge acquired soon became synonymous with power, and soon was disputed through violent struggles and countless wars. It was not long before the knowledge was fragmented, and each piece was treated as the only one, often hidden from the public. Men have divided the knowledge between what has been called religion, philosophy, and science. Religious accuse scientists of being possessed. Scientists accuse philosophers of being naive. Philosophers accuse religious of being irrational. And this dispute is still going on. From time to time, beings who seemed to be ahead of their time emerged at different points of the globe in an attempt to appease these three great strands of knowledge. A recent proposal was initiated by Professor Hippolyte Denisard-Ribaille. At that time, the theatres and concert halls of Europe and America were busy with performances where supposedly tables were moved by the spirits of deceased people. Ribaille realized that something significant could be happening there. Is it possible to interview people already dead? If it were something done on a large scale, with scientific rigor and noble purpose, would open unprecedented learning fields for men on Earth. At first, skeptical of this possibility, Ribaille had the idea of asking the same questions for several mediums, the people who claimed to channel the spirits. Such mediums could not know each other, not live nearby, or understand the purpose of the research. This process would be legitimated by the fact that the letters with the questions at that time took weeks, even months, to be carried between different countries. Is there life after death? Can we be born again on Earth? Is it possible to communicate with those who have died? Why is there evil, inequality? What will life be like in the future? How to achieve happiness as an individual and as a society? What will the world be like when we know that we are both material and spiritual beings? These and many other questions were gathered in the Spirit's book, which will be explored in this series. Such knowledge is intended for free thinkers, since it does not propose exclusivity or hierarchy. It has neither leaders nor dogmas, a new paradigm that evolves and is updated, along with the scientific discoveries and the philosophical propositions, and does not leave aside the rational search for the much-desired reconnection with the Creator. And you, what do you think of this? Our journey is just beginning. Do not forget to check the description of the video for more research material. Stay tuned for the coming episodes.
Okay. Such a wonderful video from our friends from Spiritist Academy. 1 year with us, showing their videos. So it's great. It's wonderful to be here. Also, I want you to welcome and say thank you to all comments we have here from Faye, from Ruben de los Santos in Uruguay, Elsa from Sweden, Marisa from Brazil, Guilherme Dias from UK, Beatriz Gilles from UK. So what more? What more we have here? Nelly Urzola, Cristiana Amaro de Araújo. So many people here. So thank you. And I will be very quickly today on my introduction. Oh, we have a friend from Africa, Fabius Kayem from Africa. Wonderful. It's every time it is getting better and better. So I will just read the last paragraph from a message given by the Spirit Manual, psychographed by Chico Xavier. And the title of the message is Progress and Life. And the last paragraph says, let us understand that present-day humanity performs admirable feats in all areas of physical nature. But it is necessary that our hearts adapt to the laws of good that Jesus bequeathed to us, in order to unite us and respect one another, without what leisure on earth will be a triggering factor of boredom and delinquency, and external grandeur will rise in us until a superb place, where we will continue to suffer from starvation of love. My friends, today we're going to talk about the Spiritist mission, but this mission is not just from the Spiritists, it's for the Catholics, the Protestants, the Muslim, the Jewish, the Orthodox, and even for those who don't want to have a religion or don't need it, if they think like that. And let's find out with Charles what the first idea of Kardec about the Spiritist mission.
Thank you, Stevan, for the question. The video is explaining quite well the evolution of the Earth since its formation of coming from the dust which was spread around in the space, and until the first forms of life, until the human, and nowadays. So it's very interesting. And indeed, we are today reaching a kind break even, some very special point, a milestone, I would say, in the humanity, because we see today that a lot of things we are doing are not sustainable. We see that the Earth has some limits. We see that the way we are living and consuming materially cannot continue like this. We see that the economical models are not adapted to what is upcoming to us. So, of course, the first idea of Kardec was, as it's shown also in the video, we have science, we had religions, we had also philosophy, and each one fighting against the other. And what did Kardec basically do with the help of the spirits when he saw these tables moving? When he started making questions and getting answers and compiling the spirits book, he took the moral laws, universal, which are coming basically from the religious traditions. He took also the Cartesian or positive method of science, and he also drew all the philosophical consequences based on the fact he was facing. So basically, he took the best out of science, the best out of religion, the best out of philosophy, and combined all this into this new paradigm, as it's shown again in the video, which is Spiritism or modern spiritualism. And on the other side, he left aside, I would say, maybe the lack of humility of some intellectual or scientist people. He also left aside all the dogmatic approach and the superstitions and all these stories that we see a lot on, and also the sacerdotal hierarchy we see in the traditional religions. And he also did not consider all these, I would say, philosophical thoughts which were not based on real facts, and which are, I would say, maybe a little bit out of the earthly reality. And that is really this milestone that we reached. And this milestone is really key because human being has evolved in intelligence, is also evolving morally to become a better person. So it's not yet at the level it should be, but we are improving. And this new way to approach spirituality on a rational way, to the new approach for the faith, which is a reasoned faith, is really key for our humanity today in order to build this vision of where we come, where we are, and where we are going to, through the evolution, reincarnation, and so on, as we have developed along all this first year of lives. This gives a vision which will help us to face and to overcome all the difficulties which will now, which are coming already. The wars in the 20th centuries. Now it's COVID. Tomorrow it may be something else, economical crisis or shortage of some resources or of energy or even of food or whatsoever, which can come as a consequence of the climate change. So it's really key that all these teachings are coming now in order to help us to build this famous world of regeneration, which that we are slowly but surely entering and leaving this world of trials and atonement that we are living, and also this materialist focus that will not be possible anymore on the earth, because our earth has limits. Our house is burning as it's used by some people, and we will really have to build fraternity, solidarity, and love of our neighbors in order to overcome these difficulties and to build this better world tomorrow.
Thank you, Charles. Thank you. And now I want to ask to Vanessa, my dear, when you think about Spiritist Mission, we have in you a good example, because all the efforts to spread the Spiritism in English you are doing now for many years. Like Vanessa was one of the first guests came into Ireland to help me here establish the Spirit Center here. And for you, my dear, what is the Spiritist Mission?
I cannot go astray from Kardec when he asked the question about the impact of Spiritism in our lives, and the Good Spirits answered about ridding ourselves of materialism. And it's so interesting, Stevan, because materialism is not something external to us. to reflect on our true nature, we need to accept that life is beyond what the five senses indicate. So we really need to raise above it all and contemplate a new rationale in life. At Cardiac Radio, in almost 11 years, we have brought several people to talk about life beyond this life. And whether they are named spiritists or not, it's clear that it's universal, as Kardec said in the 19th century. We all know it exists. We have compelling evidence that reincarnation is a fact, and it's already research-based here in the very state of Virginia in the United States, at the University of Virginia in Charlottesville. But not only here, we have researchers who are committed to understanding the human mind beyond the physical reality. And in all different fields of science, we have those who are researching day in, day out to understand life beyond what the five senses can tell us. And I would say, even within the five senses, we don't know it all. As a neuroscientist myself, I can tell that we know so little about the brain. And it's at the reach of our five senses, and we cannot quite understand it. Imagine everything else. So we certainly need a new paradigm to study who we truly are. So the Spiritist mission at the end of the day will tell us about our very origin, our nature, our destiny, and our relationship with the physical realm. And that's the beauty of it all, because it's a journey in self-discovery. It's a journey in inner empowerment, but not this egotistic inner empowerment that people talk about. It's this invulnerable empowerment, one in which, no matter the circumstances, we stay there. So I think Spiritism is phenomenal in so many ways to rescuing us our very essence.
Thank you, my dear. And by the way, Vanessa and her team does a lot of good work towards to the spread the spiritism. We have the Spiritist magazine, Kardec Radio, all the series. Oh my gosh, it's so many things, so many support courses that they have. So it's amazing. Thank you, by the way. Thank you. Well, and let's see what's Spain want to tell us. What's our Spaniards brothers and sisters think about the Spiritist mission, which, by the way, was there. It's because in an episode in Spain, the Spirit's book spread to the world.
Yeah. Well, that's spreading is a good word. I'll reach to that, because this is, I think, is part of our mission as well about Spiritism. I think that the first mission of Spiritists is to embed in ourselves as Spiritists the doctrine, Christianity, to transform ourselves. Otherwise, if we don't do that ourselves, this will be vague, and we cannot influence anyone with that. So I think the primary mission of a Spiritist is just to put efforts to transform oneself by giving the example with that, so we can influence others to do the same. This is, I think, is the first thing. So our mission with ourselves, to use Spiritism to transform ourselves. And then, of course, this is with us, but we learn with Spiritism about charity with Paul Apostle and all of what Christianity brought to us about the importance of charity, because this is the expression of love. Charity is the expression of love. Is when we put in action our love. So then we need to think, when we do this and we try to transform ourselves, we need to think about how I can help others to do the same. Because if we keep the light with us, because Spiritism, Christianity is light. So it's just lightening the road where we need to go to. And of course, we need to put efforts. But of course, putting the efforts or our goodwill, our desire to follow that road is something very difficult. So that comes the mission of ourselves as Spiritists, to help others to understand this light. Sometimes the light is too bright for some people who are still in the basics of understanding this spiritual world. So I say that we are born in Brazil, so with seeing spirits. But when we go to other places around the globe, so this is not a fact. This is very difficult. For instance, in Spain, it's very difficult for people when we talk about God, when we talk about spirit, soul, when we talk about reincarnation. So you see the expression on the people's face that they are looking at you and say, "Hey, what is this crazy guy saying about all of this stuff?" And I think we are going against the wave of the tendencies, the material tendencies, as Charlie said. So, and we are surrounded by material temptation all the time, especially now with all this social media, where materialism is very evident to everyone, and everybody's looking to that. Although they are not finding, let's say, they are finding just the vague. A vacuum inside, and this is our mission to help them. So just in a nutshell, we should help others to learn to understand Spiritism and to bring this light to them. This is not easy. We will face a lot of difficulties because we are going against the wave, as I said. And I think the third mission, so first, self-development. Second, to spread the Spiritism, Christianity. And the third, it's never give up. So we need to be persistent, because our mission to spread Spiritism and to help others will demand from us a lot of persistency. We need to, let's say, to inspire ourselves in others who did the same, because without those who died in Coliseum, or without those who, like Socrates, we were studying today Socrates, that most of the people, the good spirits who brought new things to us, they faced tragic, let's say, not tragic, but very drastic consequences, because they were going against the wave. Today, fortunately, in most of the cases, we are not suffering, or we are not paying that with our lives. But it is still difficult, because we are treated like crazy. We are treated like people who are not, insane or something like that. So I think the third mission is to be persistent, to be brave, and to keep doing it, to keep spreading the light to others, because someday, the day will come where they will understand it, and they will use that for their transformations as well. While we are not in that stage, we need to be persistent and to be mirrors of the light that comes from Christianity and Spiritism. I think that's our mission.
Thank you, my dear friends. Thank you. Good to hear from you. And my dear Elsa, let's put a spice of love in this. How we can spread the Spiritist mission with love.
Living it, live as an example, drying tears, offering a hug, silence most of the time, listening, and someone will say, "Where are you from? Why you do this for people? You are so kind. How can you be kind like that? Which religion are you serving?" We can say, "I am a spiritist. My mission is to love, to be loved, to teach, to be an example how to love, to follow Jesus' teachings." And he was an example for us and still is an example for us. So we can follow him, loving our children, our families, our wife, husband, parents, relatives, mother with Alzheimer, someone in wheelchair. Put in practice, not suffering, not in pain, not in going against God, but to know why we are serving with love to help humanity to grow, to evolve. That is our special, I can say, mission in the family, to be a better person every day. Try to educate our children with love, listen our children, know what's going on in the mobiles of our children. Don't leave our children only be guided by internet. This is our mission as well today, special today. Not only material things. I have to have a better house, a better car, it's okay, but not only that. If you are neglecting your children, your youth, your young people at home, in order to work hard, in order to accumulate material things, later on, tears will come. And Spiritism is here not to judge, not to put hell or heaven, only to clarify a state of mind wherever we are going, here or there. After life and the life goes on, we are carrying with us what we acquire here, knowing more. And Spiritism is complete in terms of all teachings, is natural. God's laws is in our conscience, not punishing, but only guiding us according to the law of cause and effect. So many things to learn in Spiritism. As a missionaries, that I don't consider missionaries, but if it says a mission is, I take 3,000 years to be an enlightened spirit. Doesn't matter how long it takes, but our mission is to evolve, to be a good spirit one day, a superior spirit. For now, we are in accordance with our planet, trials and attunements. We will get there. So each one that are following, learning, listening, reading, go to the internet, PDF books, are enlightening themselves. That is the good thing, spreading the word. Love and be loved with kindness towards everyone that comes towards us.
Thank you. Okay, we listen rationality, psychologically point of view, spiritualist point of view, love's point of view. Now we go to the scientific, and we will have a wonderful closing speech here. For the scientific point of view, let's talk to Ms. Nadja in Lithuania. My dear, we saw in the video the argument between philosophers, scientists, and what science is doing, what science is discovering to make this reunion again.
Good evening again. Thank you for the question. I think, as Vanessa was saying, that we have so many scientists doing such wonderful work and serious work, and Kardec at his time as well, he was doing very thorough and scientifically trying to understand and show the results of his works. And nowadays, the scientists are doing the same and trying to be as truthful, as serious as possible, so they can go against those skeptics that are always saying like, oh, the life after death doesn't exist, near-death experience is just imagination, or this is anecdote, or is something, but they also cannot prove, because they say like, well, this doesn't exist, but they cannot prove also that this cannot exist. So we are always challenging those who are skeptics to prove themselves and say like, okay, if it doesn't exist, then prove it that doesn't exist. But we are always trying to show that there is much more beyond our consciousness, beyond this physical body than we already know, and we are still researching it. And with the technology, we are using functional MRIs scans, so magnetic resonance scans, and we are using equipments to, like electrocardiogram, for example, to measure the field, the heart field, the brain field, electrical field, and the impact of prayer, the impact of also all the traditional and no-traditional medicine, for example. I'm going to talk about acupuncture because I do work with it, but also we have Reiki, and we have the healing power, and so many other scientists who have experienced near-death experience, have been almost dead, and they have had this experience, and then they came back to tell and say like, I was skeptic, I was a neurosurgeon, or I was an anesthetist, I didn't believe in it, but I experienced it, and now I can say it does happen. I've seen people I loved that have already deceased, and I can say, I can confirm, I can comfort you who is suffering, because think that life ends now. And also is a kind of what we are doing here with our videos and all the Spiritists as a mission. We have a mission to, as Allan Kardec said in the Gospel, love one another and educate yourselves. No? So we have to educate ourselves. As Rodrigo said, we have to integrate it in our lives. Do it by example, like Elsa said, and then we can tell everybody, spread what we know. Jesus said, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. So he is the way. So we have to see what he's done and how he's done, so we can be an example as well, and then tell the truth and love life, and try to prevent suicidal attempts, try to prevent people from ending their lives, their sufferings, because they are in moral pain, or in psychological pain that is becoming already a physical pain, and they want to end it. But then we want to show them that they can change their lives, and not, because life doesn't end. No? And we have so many scientists that are showing that before deathbed visitors, before people die, they see the loved ones who have already died, or their pets, or they have conversations and have periods of lucidity if they are not with mental problems, and this is now being scientifically shown through articles, and with so much in the internet that we can search for it and not just say, I don't believe it, so it doesn't exist. No, it's there. We have information, we have the technology, And we have people who are working hard to show to us that mediumistic communications with spirits exist. The letters from the beyond. So many letters that Chico Xavier has written. And as Rodrigo said, in Brazil, we have this. It's easier to understand a little bit about Spiritism, but here outside in Lithuania, I have the same problem. So I have also heard that someone said, "Oh, you have to change the name Spiritism in Lithuanian because Spiritism is something bad," and I was like, saying, "No, I'm not going to change because that's what I'm trying to do, to show to everybody in Lithuanian and in English, to show to everyone possible, that Spiritism makes us be better people. So make myself being a better person because I see that I can change myself and I can be an example for my neighbor or to my patients and help them to change themselves as well." So with the science, I can say for those skeptics, say like, look, here there are scientific results, there are books published. So if you want, I can give you a list of serious scientists and you can read and then you can make up your mind. But just don't say that this doesn't exist because you don't believe. So one step ahead, I think, from Kardec's time is the technology that we can use. So, as I said, MRI scans and other types of scans that we have nowadays. And for sure, in the future, we have more and more better technology, more and more ways of showing to everybody that life after life exists, that we can communicate with our loved ones, that there is reincarnation, that we have a soul, and we can always progress and do good for everybody around us. So, yeah, I'm sorry if I spoke too much, but I just got excited because I'm so happy that we are here and seeing the transformation, the mind transformation as well, because I learned so much, and the more I learn to talk to other people, the better I feel. And I want to say to everybody, look, this is Spiritism, so please go read. And it's a mind-blowing doctrine, as I said, but philosophy, religion, science all together. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, it is. And I left, as always I said, guys, I like to give to Silvia easy tasks. And that's the reason I left her for the last, because I started with Emmanuel, a phrase from Emmanuel. And I know Silvia loves Emmanuel. She read all the books, not once, not twice.
Most of them.
You know? Yeah.
I do love him, yes.
I think we can summarize, in my opinion, being spiritist. I will paraphrase what Emmanuel said to Chico. We needed three things.
Discipline.
First one, discipline.
Discipline.
Second one, discipline. The third one, discipline. If you have these three items, you can do whatever you want. And at the same time, what do you say, my dear? Elsa put a wonderful sentence for us here. So easy and so difficult at the same time. How we can have discipline, my dear Silvia, if it's so easy and difficult at the same time?
Wow. This
easy
is
one for you.
This is quite something to think about. I think in personally, I think that nothing really is difficult. What makes difficult is because we either don't believe enough, we're not wanting to make a change enough, we are too proud. So I think the barriers is within us, because I think, to paraphrase Einstein, he said life is simple. And life is simple, but we make it complicated. And I think everyone talked a little bit about what Spiritism means. And I love that phrase from Vanessa, and I actually wrote it down. Because, like she said, the rescue our very essence. And I think personally, we are spirits of light. We are God's children, and we have within us the potential to be advanced spirits, and we are going to be advanced spirits. And the time that will take to get there will depend on us. So the day we start putting the barriers, oh, I don't think I'll be able to do it. Because one thing as well we tend to do is to think, oh, the mission, we think of Chico Xavier, we think of Divaldo, Raul Teixeira, or somebody else, Mother Teresa. We tend to compare ourselves. And Emmanuel says, all of us have our own mission. Can be the most simple. A person who's sweeping actually in his message he does say, a person who's sweeping the street have a mission, a very important mission, to keep things clean. Imagine if no one would do that, we would forever walk in rubbish. So wherever we are, I think Elsa mentioned about educating children. Nadja said things about how to more or less educate people in understanding that there is a spiritual life. We have a greater potential. And Rodrigo and Charles, we all talked about you yourself. And we tended to think that we have to create lots of things. No, sometimes it's just bringing up your own children is part of the mission, because you don't know what kind of spirits they are in your charge, what kind of people they are going to be. So that's a very, very, very important mission. A teacher, someone who does small things, do the small things. Like St. David said, do the small, because those are the ones who are important. A building of 37 floors, it starts on the foundation and will never be seen. But without it, you have no building. And I think that's what spirit is the foundation for our spirit, is what I think, going to what Jesus said, if you believe me, keep my commandments, and I will send you the consoler that will remind everything I taught you and more. And I think that's what Spiritism is. I think this phrase of Vanessa was perfect, because, it's to rescue our essence, for us to learn that we are the spirit of light, this diamond that is bursting to get out of us. And we just have to start polishing it, letting go of our pride, of our selfishness, of our lack of a misunderstanding, of our judgments. And this kind of things, those are that complicates life. Those are the ones who impede us from going forward. And I think Spiritism tells us, you don't need any of this. In itself, you have everything you need. As a child of God, an inheritor of the universe, that's all you need, because you already there. It's just there for you to get. But we need, first of all, to take the chains from our feet so we can fly. And I think that that's what the Spiritist teaches us, because to understand that we don't die, only our body dies, to understand that life goes on, that everything we learn now, every effort that we put in our lives now will be for our own, we are going to get the advantage of it, and to learn to live in peace. Because once we do this for ourselves, will you be able to accept other people as they are, as with the difficulties that they have, you know. But sometimes we want to be so perfect. And I remember reading this book. This German philosopher, he went to Japan because he wanted to learn about Zen and all that. And he was then the war started, and he got stuck in this monastery, and he lived there for 10 years. And he wrote a book called A Way of Transformation. And there he tells a story that one day the monk that was responsible for him said, well, next week you're going to learn how to throw the arrow, the bow and arrow. So being a German, as he said, he started practicing it and practicing it and practicing it. He could hardly move his arms but he really got into the aim of the thing what he wanted. And when the day came that he was going to start doing it, they just brought a pail of hay, a bunch of hay. And he said, no, but I've been practicing. I've been working very hard all this week to learn how to do the middle. And then the monk said to him, but I don't want you to reach the eye. I want you to know what you're going to learn while you're trying to reach there. And I think we can apply to all of us. We are not going to be spirits of light today, but we are beginning to do this with the learning, the sacrifice. When we smile at someone, when we say, please forgive me, I made a mistake, I hurt you. All those things are the foundation for our spirit to allow it to shine. I think life is beautiful, is simple, and I feel blessed that I have reached the point that I understand the Spiritism enough to have it in my life, and I never, ever, ever will move away from this path again. So, I feel privileged to be and sharing with you and everyone that's listening to us this moment, because we are together. We are, a light. Is spreading out, reaching out to the hearts and learning and taking in as well, because all the people who are there listening to us, they are also sending us their love, and it's reciprocate, and it shines, it goes out. So that's what I think. Thank you. I think I spoke far too much, but anyway, thanks.
No. It's wonderful to listen to you, my dear. Thank you. So we have more people joining us here. So Severina, Bianca Ortega. I think you know her, Rodrigo. I have a suspicion you know her. Nancy Valente. So it's good. Munir, my friend, thank you. Thank you for the words. So, my friends, it was a pleasure to be with everyone here. Learn, like Nadja said, we started a year ago with one way of thinking things. Now it's open up and didn't open like 1 or 2%. Still more to open. But thank you for the guidance from Elsa, the guidance from Charles, the opportunity and encouragement given by Vanessa. Thank you very much. And I just want to say to everyone, discipline, and discipline in whatever you're going to do. We are not here to change your ideas or impose you to change your religion. No, we are not. That's not our aim here. That's completely out of question. Our aim here is free yourself from yourself to become not a better person, to share. Everyone, we have a friend, a spiritist friend. She runs a massive spirit center with so many things in Angola. And she always said to us, we are light. So let's shine. That's it. Thank you, my friends. Anyone wants to add something or compliment something? So feel free, guys, if you want to say something.
I just want to say something very quickly. When you say, change, I think we have to learn to change ourselves first. And I think as it was mentioned before, and be the example, a quiet example to others, that they see us and say, yes, that's a nice person. Not a spiritual or anything, a nice person, someone who thinks about you. So, oh yes, that's a nice person. I think if we achieve that, we've already achieved more than we know.
Very true. Okay, can we go to our announcements? Okay. So, 1 year ago, and now we are today. So we start like Nadja said, do we have a soul? And today we're talking about the Spiritist Mission. Our family grew and will grow more, I'm pretty sure. So this is it. So let's go to the next one. But first I need to find where to change this. Okay, I found it. Okay, next episode on the next Wednesday, 16th of February. The intuition of future joys and sorrows. It's 9 o'clock our London time, and I know you will all be here with us. And every Wednesday, after a long day, let's have a coffee break with Kardec at 4 p.m. UK time with Munir. Every other Tuesday, we do have Rafael Caldas and Guilherme Dias talking about conversations on mediumship. The show is Time to Talk. So it's great to listen both speaking about mediumship. Talking about mediumship, I encourage you to go to this seminar given by Guilherme Dias. It's on Buzz Audiovisual. This video are in English and in Portuguese, so you can learn and for sure understand a little bit more about virtual mediumistic meetings. Okay. And if you want to study the mediums book, I invite you to join us every Saturday, 10:30 a.m. London time, a guided study with three facilitators, Guilherme Dias, Monier Gariba, and Charles. Last but not least, we will have our first World Spiritist Month in April 2022. So it's almost 40 countries joining efforts talking about Spiritism a month long. So please be aware with the date and the details how this gonna happen. Okay? So this is it. See, 1 year, like fly.
The Spiritist magazine, already in the first number of the year, brought some information inside, okay?
Okay, good.
The spiritistmagazine.org. Yes, Anissa? Oh, yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, once again, my friends, I wish you all a wonderful night, a wonderful afternoon or evening, or morning for those who are waking up in Australia. Yeah. And
but they are already on tomorrow, aren't they? For them, it's already tomorrow.
Yeah, they're in the future already. So once again, thank you for all you
4 minutes
guys.
in the future.
Say it again?
Thank you. I said, me too. I'm 4 minutes in the future.
Yeah. Nadja's in the future already. So,
yeah. Oh, yeah, she is. Yeah.
Yeah. So, thank you. Vanessa, Elsa, Charles, Rodrigo, Nadja, Silvia, it's a pleasure to be here with you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Stevan,
Bye-bye.
for
Thank you.
guiding us.
Merci.
Thank
Au
you.
revoir.
Thank you.
À bientôt.
Obrigado.
Au revoir.
Hasta luego.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Ciao. Ciao,
Bye.
ciao.
Bye-bye.
Ta-ta.
Ciao. Ciao.
Ta-ta.